But if you look just down here, you can see, look at that skeleton. And I just have to be careful going down here. All those leaves and stuff. So we'll have a look inside there now. Honest Thomas. Morning, guys. From a very cold and frosty morning here in Castleconnell in County Limerick. So we're here today to visit the old church here, Church of Ireland I think it is. It's called All Saints Church. An old graveyard. So the reason I'm here today as well is to document a bit of history and visit the burial vault of General Sir Richard Burke, which is a very, very interesting story attached to this man. So he was born in 1777 and he died in 1855. He was an Irish-born British Army officer and colonial governor who was known for his progressive leadership as governor of New South Wales in Australia. So he was born in Dublin and his family was of Limerick origin from Drumsally near Cappamore. And just look at that frost that we have in Ireland at the moment. It's covering all the headstones, as you can see, but it's a beautiful scene and setting here. So, Sir Richard Burke, he had a long career in the British Army, and he was rising, of course, to the rank of general, as I was saying. In 1831, he was appointed governor of New South Wales, where he served until 1837. So his career also involved the convict reformer. As a lifelong Whig liberal, he supported the emancipation of convicts and helped to advance the end of penal transportation to Australia. He moved the colony away from purely military control, promoting civil juries and wider roles for ordinary settlers. So as we walk around the old graveyard, we will read a couple of old headstones here today, and of course visit the burial vault of Sir Richard and his family. He approved and helped lay foundations for what became Melbourne, named after the British Prime Minister Lord Melbourne. So it was actually Sir Richard, believe it or not, was the person. So any of my followers from Australia would be very interested in that. So Sir Richard was the one who gave Melbourne its name. So how fascinating is that? And of course there was the religious equality then in New South Wales. He supported legislation that funded multiple denominations fairly. After returning to Ireland, he collaborated on publishing the correspondence of his kinsman Edmund Burke. He was knighted as Knight Commander of the Order of the Bath, the KCB, in 1835. After retiring, Richard lived at Thornfield House in County Limerick. He died of heart failure at Thornfield on the 12th of August 1855. And of course he was buried in this old graveyard here. So I do have my torch now. I did come up here yesterday. I was staying nearby in the area and came across a lot of very interesting headstones on the grounds here. And I've come across a couple with symbols on them, like skeletons and all sorts. So this one here says, in loving memory of John Ulick Burke, who passed away on the 17th of May 1910, aged 64. A nice Celtic design on that. Now this one here, I've never seen one like this before. And I believe this grave here is depicting like it's made of wood. We can see the railings on it just there. And the details like little knots that would be on the wood going all around that railing. And then we have this cross like it's the bottom of a tree. Now it's hard to see a name on that, but there is a date, 1869. But isn't that wonderful looking to see? And that railing goes all the way around there. So we'll keep moving up towards where we started, because I do want to show you. I just wanted to give you that information about Sir Richard Burke. Now that is his burial vault over there, so we will get back to that area and have a look. And who knows, we'll even have a look inside the vault and see what we can capture in there. So this one here, it says, in memory of Gwen Warren, a very lovely lady who died the 25th of August 1967, a devoted wife of Brigadier Tony Warren, CBE, Stradbally House. So there you go, that's very interesting there as well. Wife of a brigadier. And I just love the frost on the grass. (2026) new year, new videos on this channel. 2026 is going to be a very, very interesting year for myself and Serenity Sue. We're going to do a lot of travelling, please God, and go abroad even. Look at this here. We have Jesus here on the cross, and this is erected by Catherine Ahern in memory of her beloved husband Samuel, who died it looks like 1817 is the date on that. And the frost that's on top of it. So there is very old graves here. We have another one here. Looks like Pat Ahern, who died 1824. Now the one I want to show you and I was talking about is I think it's just as you come in the side of the church area over here. This is also another old one, and it says this stone was erected by John McKeough, who departed this life. You can see there 1748. is the year on it. Right, so the one we're looking for, there is about 3 altogether. So the first one we'll go and see. He's just in by the wall here. And it's this one right here. So I hope you can all see. Just there we have the angel cherub with the wings either side. But if you look just down here, you can see, look at that skeleton that's on it. On the other side then we have the angel playing, I think, is it a bugle he's playing? With wings on him there. And it says this was erected by Richard Dowling in memory of his father and mother, 1899, R.I.P. Thomas Dowling died March 1886, age 84, and his wife Honora died in 1886 and she was 56 years old. But super stuff there, look at that. The skeleton on the headstone and the angel on the other side. Super stuff. So that is one of them, as I was saying. There is more around here, we'll go and find that now. So we have a grave here as well, it's old I believe. This stone was erected by John Carroll in memory of his father Patrick Carroll, who departed this life 1808, age 57, and his mother Margaret, and she passed away in 1806. So there is people in the background. That's the newer cemetery just across the way. There's a lot of grave diggers there. They're looks like they're getting ready for a funeral or a burial there. Now with the help of the frost we can actually read this better. So it says, here lies the body of Thomas Wooddyer. House Stewart at Mount Shannon in this parish, who died the 20th of July 1839, aged 65. And it says this stone was erected in remembrance of his faithful and attached service of 30 years by John, Earl of Clare. So John, Earl of Clare, put this stone here for Thomas, who's a house steward. And Mount Shannon House, actually, I might put a photo of the video of it. It's abandoned now. It was burned, I think, in the 1920s, maybe 1921. It's a huge mansion of a house, not far from here. So I'll just show you this one before we go down and look for the other ones with the symbols on them. This is a beautiful grave here. I think it's a child's grave. But look at that lovely little railing that goes around it. But the inscription is very interesting on this. And it says, in the morning it was green and grew up. In the evening it was cut down and withered. So this is sacred to the memory of Augustus Ludlow, the only child of the Reverend Summers H. Payne. So Augustus was born, looks like on the 3rd of June 1848, and died the 2nd of December 1849. So just a small baby. Very sad to see. And down the bottom then it says, I became dumb and opened not my mouth, for it was thy doing. So a great inscription, sad at the same time, at the grave of that child, belonged to the Reverend. So I think this down here, I was just mentioning those other graves with the symbols on them. They're down this direction, so we'll go and have a look at those now, and then after that we'll go and see the burial vault of Sir Richard Burke. So these are the graves here, the headstones. You're not going to believe it when you see these, but these are absolutely stunning. Look at that. The stone cutter, the details that's on that. The angel again playing the bugle or a trumpet, I'm not quite sure, correct me if I'm wrong. And you can see it there as well, but it glistens with that frost and it really stands out. And this is erected by Pat Condon, I think, in memory of his son Patrick. And it's hard to see a date, but super details on that though. Amazing. I love it. And just beside that then, we have another one here. And we can see the angel on this one here just shows two wings. And it looks like he's looking sideways. You can see his hair and stuff on it. Then we have the angel cherubs. The same kind of thing just there. Here we have a, look, is that a dove? A bird on it. Lots of symbols on it. So this was erected by Pat Condon in memory of his son John, who departed this life October 1896, aged 26 years old. Super stuff. So that's those graves I wanted to show you. And of course the one up near the church there with the skeleton on it as well. And those two. So we'll just go over here and have a quick look at the old church ruin. I'm not quite sure how old this ruin is here, but if I find out I'll put it over the video. There's the old holy water font, I believe that is, and what's left of the ruin of the church that stands here today. This one here is Here Lies the Body of Bartholomew McCormack, who departed this life 3rd of February 1815, aged 58. Erected by his brother Thomas for him and his posterity. Right, so we go down this way, down the hill, where it's not so slippy. And you can just see there's older ones then as well, with all that railing around it. Right, so here we are. We're going over now to see the final resting place of General Sir Richard Burke, and how Melbourne in Australia got its name. I don't think you'll see anything or find anything more remarkable than this, in my opinion anyway. I think it's fascinating that this man was in Australia and the history behind it. And this is his burial vault here. And what a vault it is, look at that. We can see the railing around it. And the steps that go down to the door. So just above the doorway, then the entrance, it says the burial place of General Sir Richard Burke and of his descendants. And we'll just take a walk around and see the structure of it. And it looks like it's in good condition. Stone slab roof on it. Right guys, so I think we'll go down the steps and we'll have a look, closer inspection down these steps here. And I just have to be careful going down here. All those leaves and stuff. So we'll have a look inside there now in the vault. There is the urn, and we have the brickwork inside the vault. Look at that, they're very fresh looking, those coffins. So that is inside the burial vault of General Sir Richard Burke and the connection to Melbourne in Australia. How amazing is that? And look at that coffin on the side. All very dry looking in there, in good condition, so there is no leakage in there in that vault, it looks like. So we can see there guys, down the bottom there's a coffin there. And actually see there's urns in there as well, left on top of that table area. And there's a plate, strangely enough, and I don't know what is on it. I'll try and zoom in maybe. Right there we can see the handle on them as well, look at that. Right guys, so that's what it looks like inside the burial vault there, and those coffins look remarkably fresh in there, and it's so dry in there. There's definitely no water getting in there or any damage to those coffins. But if you look at the coffin that we saw right in front of us, it does look like it's a child's coffin, a very young child. And of course there was one urn in there. I think I said there was urns in there. There's one urn from what I could see. So that is somebody's ashes were placed in there as well. When that was done, I don't know. Now I did look up Find a Grave, and I can't see anything else about any other family members of who else is in there. But very interesting to get a peek inside and learn about the history of General Sir Richard Burke. Serenity Sue is with me today. She also has some videos done in Limerick, so look out for those videos. Subscribe to her channel as well. So this one here is the family vault of Jonas Blackall, Esquire. So we have another vault here, and I don't see an entrance to it, but I'm sure it's in around there somewhere. Maybe it's covered in on that old grave there. So before we leave, guys, I just want to show you this one as well. I find very, very interesting. And on this headstone it says, "Here light the body of," and I'll just get my torch so maybe you'll see it better. "Here light the body of honest Thomas Ben, who never wished mankind harm or ill just in his dealings, charitable to the poor, his demands." And it's hard to read that there, but it says widows. He always forbore, and he departed this life September the 27th, 1757, in the 54th year of his age. Well, how interesting is that? On his grave, honest Thomas, it says, honest Thomas Ben. So as we walk away from honest Thomas and his grave, I just want to say thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all on the next cemetery adventure.